the Making of EQUINOX, which is my first full semester length course. So it's a 12-week course that's online. And like, as I've been thinking about what I wanted to say about it, I've been really reflecting on 2019 as the whole year and realizing that the Equinox Dreaming Awake course started like earlier on in 2019. And that year is significant for me because it was my hiatus year after being homeless for 18 months while doing organizing work for survivors of domestic violence. So like 2019 was really a year for me to focus on my own healing, really focus on what does sustainability mean for me, and how can I create a business that is really full of what I need. For those of you just joined, talking about the Making of EQUINOX, which is my full-length semester course. That's going to begin again on March 19th. So for 2019, one of the most amazing things that happened was I started working with Ivy Valentine or Lauren on some like business development work for Cosrain. So Cosrain is my dream working business. And there's a whole story about the name, and I can talk about that on the live video. But my cousin was doing all of this work for me, this business development work, and I didn't know that this person was my cousin at the time. So really, like the making of Cosrain and Equinox Dreaming Awake was very much like a family affair, including my ancestors and like my long lost cousin, like us being put together to work on this business that's all around using dreams to really restructure folks' legacies. So in the beginning, I met with this beautiful photographer and videographer named Lauren through this Facebook group as I was doing some healing and reclamation work around my body and how I allowed others to interact with my body. And the way that I wanted to do some of that work was through modeling for queer brands, for different sex toys, different black and brown, small business owners, things like that. And so I was doing some modeling work for Lauren, TFP, where you trade. And so Lauren initially did my Cosrain promo videos, which you can check those out. They're on the website, www.cosreign.com, and that's CAUSEREIGN, Cosrain, like the act of causing the reign of a legacy, the reign of a lineage. So those went up on the site with my cousin, who like is also named Lauren, or Ivy Valentine if you're trying to link with her for some business development work on Facebook, Ivy Valentine. So in early September, after traveling all summer long, I was like in LA, in New Orleans, in Atlanta, in Chicago, in Kenosha. I was in Hawaii twice last summer, studying with Jen Alvarez, and then also going for the month of July to do some work with a farm and to be there while my partner had an internship. So let me know, y'all, if I'm talking too fast, because when I get excited, I start talking really fast. So in early September, me and Lauren, we met up again to really like film the work for Equinox Dreaming Awake. So Lauren, who was originally up in the Bay and came down to San Diego, really picked these like beautiful locations for the shoot. So we were at Black's Beach in San Diego, and then also at the Mission Trail State Park. And I'll put in the comments some samples of like what the video footage looks like. So I was really experimenting with what does it mean to have medicinal media. We're doing so much on social media to reclaim our traditional practices, and folks, have concerns about security on like a physical type level, but also security around like spiritual security. And so what does it mean for something that you create that's going to be consumed and used online to also be spiritually protected? And so we're creating these beautiful shorts All of the videos are come through the class like once a week. So they're 2-minute long short films, beautifully collaged, beautifully edited, of these beautiful landscapes. And they also are a reflection of, as I was traveling, I was learning to dream, or like practicing the skill of dreaming with landscapes, really recording and documenting the ways that my dreams shifted depending on the places that I was sleeping. And like I said, I was like moving all over the country, in Hawaii, New Orleans, Atlanta, LA, in the Midwest. I ended the summer in Philly as well. So I was all over the United States, really documenting what does it mean for me to dream in all these places. And like I keep saying, like this whole process was a super duper family affair. You know, I found my cousin, like my ancestors put me and my long lost cousin, we're like fourth cousins or something like that, put us together to work on this work together. So yeah, so me and Lauren, we spent like 6 to 8 hours shooting over 2 days. And you know, I had to like drive like 30 minutes to get to the shoot locations. I was supposed to be there like 6 a.m., like just as the sun was rising for the light, and I was late like every time. You know, I did my best to get there. Yeah, so what did it look like during the shooting? So during the shooting, I was really channeling all of these ceremonies of thinking about, what do I want to teach folks as they're going through the class? What do I want folks to experience as they're watching it? And also, like, you know, having my own experience, my own internal experience as I'm listening to these messages from my ancestors, as I'm pulling on like past experiences that I have had through channeling, through different initiations, and really figuring out how to create medicinal media that is a ceremony by being in ceremony while shooting and recording it. So like I said, the whole time I'm channeling to figure out what are these different ceremonies for this 12-week class. And then we also have this like rough shot list that we're like piecing together all of these things in these like 2 different locations. And so I'm doing all of that, like, so really like freestyling, like with a landscape and with energy. And I'm also drawing on my initiation. So formally, I've been initiated as a Pachacuti Mesa carrier, which is a combination of like curanderismo and Peruvian shamanism. I received that initiation when I was in Ecuador in 2016. And so Pachacuti means world reversal. And so it's a practice that is done like with a flat altar, a mesa, like a table. And it is very much about the 4 directions and also a 5th direction that is like interdimensional space travel. So it's very, very powerful. In fact, shortly after I was initiated, I like stopped practicing because I didn't feel like I had a handle on what do the directions mean, and things like that. Even though when I was in ceremony with the 25 other people who I was in ceremony with, I was able to like really quickly connect to a lot of ancestral messages. And we were also there, we were in Ecuador, so on the equator, over the solstice, so like a huge portal space was open, and I was very confident working in that space. But then when I came back to the United States and like, you know, was back in my crappy apartment and, you know, finishing my last semester of college and all of these things, it was just like super, super overwhelming. And in that, like after that last semester, I also ended homeless for 18 months. And so in that 18 months, I was really, really pushed to like deeply connect to the land, deeply connect to some of my older African ancestors, really connect with my Native American ancestors, and like, you know, also receiving all of this medicine directly from the land and the spirits of the land while figuring out who exactly I am, what exactly do I have access to, and receiving these initiations and not really knowing like what to do with all of that. So, you know, this past September when I was making this class, I was really weaving together all of these different experiences that I had, and a lot of which that I had like by myself, or maybe my partner was driving next to me as I'm having all these visions. And so what else am I initiated in? So I'm a Sangoma Thwaza, so I'm being trained to be a South African traditional healer. I am a conjurer. I was working through divinations with Maisha a lot for a while. For probably about 8 months, 8 to 10 months, I was doing regular divinations with Maisha to really piece together some ancestral work. Um, yeah, so we have all of the video shot for Equinox Dreaming Awake. For those of y'all who are in the live right now, let me know if you have any questions about what I'm talking about. You can type them in, and I'll definitely be super excited to answer the questions. So at the end of doing all of the recording of the footage, we have these beautiful, beautiful shots. Then it's a matter of weaving the shots together and creating the audio. So the class is set up kind of in 3 segments. The first segment is all about cleanliness and like cleanliness as a rest practice and thinking about thinking about spiritual hygiene and what does your house look like and like sleep hygiene and all of those types of things. Those are the first 4 weeks, the first month of the course. And then the middle section of the course is all about ancestral veneration. And because the course is cross-cultural, we're weaving together whoever people's ancestors are, and really like remembering that most people's ancestors are not coming from just one landscape unless the family has like lived in the same place for 300 years, but likely because of Great Migration or because of Great Migration or because of being in diaspora or all the other different types of movement that people end up doing, we are likely from multiple landscapes. So it's really great that I have the Toltec Chichimeca, the ancient Mexican training, the training in the multiple directions, and I have a very much awareness of the ways that hoodoo and conjure has been integrated into my own family and into my own practices. And Maisha has been a huge help with helping me reconnect to a lot of those practices. Yeah, so during and then the last 4 weeks is like beginning things around dream interpretation and dream recall. But really we're doing dream work throughout the whole thing, but I think it's better to focus more on some of the physical things and some of the ancestral things first, because dreaming is so ephemeral and watery and slippery. That sometimes it's easier to navigate when you're not super specifically focusing on the dreaming itself. Yeah. I love that you're on here too, and all of the artwork that you do. I think it's really cool to share this work with other artists, because it very much was like such a labor of love and of really weaving together all of these things that I had experienced kind of in solitude, and to like share it with other people and allow them to experience it. So I've been thinking about like how have I changed through the Equinox course. So like I said earlier in the video, that 2019 was really a hiatus year for me, where I was taking off from performing, from doing organizing work, all of these things, and really just trying to chill, get my health together, get my money together, those types of things. So through Equinox Dreaming Awake, I really began to weave together this mission of mine to really return African dreamways to us, and to really like highlight and emphasize the ways that this is a way that we're still very connected to Africa, and we're still very connected to the many landscapes that our family has lived in. And in that, I was doing during the shooting, I was doing a lot more movement work. I had loosened up a lot of my body. I was in a lot of pain last year and at the end of 2018. So you see me in ceremony dancing around a fire and things like that, and like also not being afraid to let spirit and my ancestors like be in my body, and like just a little bit be in my body, and to do that in front of a camera, I think was really huge for me, to like bring myself out of the solitude that I had been experiencing all of these initiations with, and share it. And start to really reframe how I was thinking about some of the things in terms of like, this is medicine, this is for other people. Like, if I hold this medicine and keep it to myself, like, I'm gonna go crazy, and this is not gonna be good for me. Like, the point of the medicine is like to be in continual flow and giving it and sharing it with other folks, and to be a beacon for community. And I have a whole I could do a whole other video on like what community means to me. I was thinking about that a lot last night. So yeah, so all of the video footage gets shot, and then the class starts. Thank you. I saw a poem a while back from Aisha's group you wrote, I believe. That's why I feel connected to this course too. A lot of my work in ancestral help stems from dreams. To be able to flow through them more easily and listen would be amazing. Yeah, yo, like there are some really, really amazing stories of folks who have gone through the course, and the ways that they connect to like stories that they like, that their family had lost, that, you know, that people are not talking about anymore. Me personally, like, I've had a whole love affair in Dream Room with a person who's like currently alive, like not an ancestor. And we met like at one of my dream classes and decided we were gonna try dreaming together. We had never done it before. This was a couple years ago now. And then over the course of like a year, maybe a year and a half, like we like fell in love in Dream Realm. Like, you know, this person like brought me to their ancestral homelands, and it was happening in real time. Like, this person would be traveling to Brazil, it would be raining for weeks in Brazil, and I would have these dreams of Brazil and the rain, and I texted him and I was like, whoa, like, I had this wild dream, you like brought me through all these fields, da 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 da, and it was raining. And then he would text me back and be like, dude, it's been raining here for 2 weeks straight, like it has not stopped raining. Like, yeah, this ancestral dream medicine is amazing. Like, amazing. Like, and like I said, like, we had a whole love affair in Dream Realm. And I had to, like, you know, take some distance from this person because I was catching feelings, like, in Waking Realm, even though everything that happened was in Dream Realm. Like, this work is amazing. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. And like I said, too, like, you know, I was homeless for 18 months, like, coming out of a domestic violence situation. All of these things had all these PTSD symptoms, and I used the dream medicine to like stop my PTSD nightmares. You know, I live in a very nice apartment now that has like hot tubs on the bottom, and I got the first 2 months of this apartment for free. Like, this dream medicine is incredible. Like, the gifts that our ancestors have left for us, like, you know, if we like clean up our sleep practices, cleaning up our sleep practices, and you know, which like helps us like tremendously, like on a physical level as well. Like, it's so important for us to sleep, and there's just so many ways for us to work like far less and receive so much more. Like, we don't really have to work as hard. We don't really have to work as hard as capitalism dictates. Oh, yeah, so I can't remember where I was going before your comment. It was a great comment, though, and I love the tangent that it took me on. Let's see. Oh, so I wanted to talk about the audio recordings. So I had also, like I said, I had stopped performing for a long time. And it was also when I was performing before, it was like so much energy for me to perform, for me to sing, to do poetry over these like sound collages that I made. Where I would like record things in nature, and then kind of layer it into this like dissonant thing, and then I would do like ritual performance over it. And I like did that touring all over the country. I performed in Mexico once. It was a lot. It was a lot over a short period of time. And so I also like, you know, was singing again, on top of these beautiful videos that Lauren shot, with me in them. You know, pulling on like the chants that I learned for Pachacuti Mesa to like open the mesa and close the mesa. So like different types of portal work and like ancient chants. These are Incan gods. who are embodied and evoked using the chants. And I was also singing like old spirituals and some like Obatala medicine and things like that. So that was really beautiful to be like working on the recordings each week and like deciding within myself like what is a restful song to put on in these recordings. And then in that I started working at a school during nap time, so I was singing these lullabies to children, you know, as they are the recordings for this Equinox Dreaming Awake course. Like it's just like, oh, it just, this course and like, you know, the birthing of this course was just like such a beautiful process. And so like one of the songs that is kind of repeated throughout is this Obatala song. So that's like Baba Fururu Lorere Ho O Kanyen Leibo Elerifa Obasi Basawo Ei borere basibao Ei ya Ei awaloro Ei awaloro Alesioka. And it's a call and response in the song, and so like in the videos, like I always make sure that there's pairs, and so just like using all of these different forms of medicine with the media layered with like these medicine songs makes for like this really rich content that I really want to make sure that people are able to experience. Okay. There's a lot more other things that I could talk about, but I feel like this is good for now. Like I said, I'm gonna put some clips of the videos in the comments for folks to see. I'm gonna be going live probably tomorrow again to talk about some of the health and medical benefits of this course and just like this type of work in general. And then on Sunday, me and Amani of Girl the Retreat and Girls Who Brunch, we're going to be doing a live on vulnerability and affirming spaces. And we're doing some work together around like what does taking care of yourself in community look like, because both of our events are moving in that direction. Of community care. So we're going to be doing a live on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And what else do we have going on? Oh, so there's a special this weekend on the Equinox Dreaming Awake course. So payment plans that starts at $100. You can look at some of the details. I'll put the link in the comments as well. And then also, if you register by Sunday, the 8th, then you'll also receive a complimentary energy clearing and divination session. So that's like about a 90-minute ceremony where I'm singing, listening, being attentive, being like a full spectrum medium, listening, smelling, hearing, touching, talking to your spirits and mine to collect the medicine that you need and to really get clear on what is like the root of the situation. You can also book those types of appointments with me separately as well from the course, but I just wanted to offer that for folks who are able to and ready to sign up for the course on Sunday. Yeah, I think that's it. If anybody has any last minute questions or comments or anything, you can type those in. Otherwise, I'm gonna get off. And I hope y'all have a beautiful, beautiful night and a beautiful weekend. And as always, sweet dreams.